That 15 minutes of quiet time when we get in the house, it has saved my sanity. It's helped me to be more loving and patient with my kids. And it's teaching them the same thing to be more patient and to take time to let go of the stress from the day before they get into their homework and whatnot. Welcome to the Mom Self Care Podcast, your safe space to finally focus on YOU. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your self care coach for moms, praying wife, and mom of four. And I know that being a Christ centered mom is such a beautiful calling, but it can be so draining. That's why it's important to make sure you are filling your own cup. On this podcast, we'll discuss practical, holistic self care strategies to help nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Because a mama who fills her own cup pours that back into her family with true peace and joy. Tune in for honest conversations about motherhood and self-care because you matter too. Blessings, mamas, and welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your host and self-care coach for moms, and today I'm talking about prioritizing yourself this back-to-school season. Because as seasons change, our self-care looks different. So what worked during the summertime, it's not going to work during the school year because we know there can be a lot going on, especially if you had a nice, relaxed, laid-back summer. You know, when you get into the school year, it is on, okay? It is on. My daughter's already stressing. Well, actually, both of my twins are stressing because they're juniors. Y'all, I have juniors in high school. I still think it's so crazy. But she's already stressing. She's like, I have all this work to do. I just want to watch my favorite show. I was talking to my friend and I don't want to go back to school tomorrow. She was like, my friend doesn't want to go back either. And I said, baby, just take it one day at a time. She tends to worry and stress out about everything she's like, what if I fail? And I'm like, baby, the class just started. School just started. This is their second week of school. So I'm like, just take it one step at a time. I said, you find out if the teacher has tutoring because she's taking college algebra and she's like, I'm not good at math. I've never been good at math. I said, ask the teacher if he does tutoring. She was like, I don't want to ask. I said, ask the teacher. I'm like, because we want to focus on solutions, not the negative things, the bad things that can happen. And then my youngest, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's having growing pains or what, but he's been struggling with having pain in his feet and his legs. So y'all pray for him. Y'all pray for him. But he's so excited. He's like the opposite. He's like, I love school. And he's excited about band and all these things. So pray for him, please. I don't know what's going on with him. Hopefully it's growing pains and not anything more serious. So pray for my baby while I'm praying for yours too. Now, enough about the kiddos, who I love to talk about, as you can tell. Let's talk about you. As I stated, each season requires something different. You may have more time for self-care, you may have less. You may need a different type of self-care. You may need to focus on your emotions and your well-being more than your physical or more than your environmental or more than your social. So the first thing I want you to do, get your pen out, guys, and write this down. Again, if you cannot do it right at this moment and you're listening while you're driving or while you're folding clothes, then make sure you save this episode, come back and write these things down and ask yourself, what do I need? What do you need in this season? Because we know things change. You're picking up the kiddos, dropping them off unless they ride the bus, helping with homework, helping navigate their feelings, the things that are going on maybe with their teachers, with fellow students. It's a lot. So ask yourself in the midst of that, what do you need in this season? Where do you need support? Where do you need to say, woosah, I just need some room for me. And something practical I like to share is that when we get home, we have 15 minutes of mandatory quiet time. Okay, because mama, sometimes they in the car, and I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all, but my youngest and my daughter, they love to argue and bicker with each other. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And I know that part of it, my daughter does it because, like I said, she's stressed out about school. And I've had to talk to her multiple times. We haven't talked about it this year, but I'm sure we will have to have that talk. I'm like, when you get in the car, if you know you're frustrated and overwhelmed and you know your little brother likes to talk, don't say anything. No matter what he says, don't say anything, don't respond. And then the same thing on that flip side, and as I'm telling y'all, I'm reminding myself, is that I talk to him and I say, hey, when the twins get in the car, oh man, see, I can't even do it like that now because now I pick them up all at the same time. We're going to have to figure that out. But I used to pick him up earlier than them. And so I say, When they get in the car, 5 minutes of quiet time. Cause baby, that baby love to talk. He loves to talk. I would say giving them 5 minutes of quiet time, the same way you like to get in the car and tell me about your day and all of those things. Do the same thing with your brother and sister. So we're gonna have to navigate that a little differently. That is something different this year. But that 15 minutes of quiet time when we get in the house, it has saved my sanity. It has helped me to be more loving and patient with my kids. And it's teaching them the same thing to be more patient and to take time to, let go of the stress from the day before they get into their homework and whatnot. Cause I'm like, you've been in school all these hours. There's no way that I'm going to come home and tell you to sit down, get on your books, and do even more. No, I'm going to give you a break. Why? Because I would want a break, right? You don't want to work all day, then come home and get right back to work. So I encourage you, that's just an example of something that you can do. And maybe if you pick your kids up at different times, you can do what I did with my son as well. But like I said, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But just that's something that helps me to be able to say, when we get home, it's quiet time. Go in your room, no electronics, relax. And then after that, they got chores to do. Come do these dishes, then, you can do your homework or whatever. So again, what do you need in this season? And next, secondly, ask yourself, what are you taking on that does not need to be done by you? That is not yours to hold. That is not yours to carry. What are those things? Write them down. Think about it. Things that you do not have to do, that you do not have to do, not that you can do. Those are different questions, but you don't have to do. What things can your children help with? Even though you may have said in the past, no, I got it because they're not going to do it like I do it like I want it done. What can they do? What can your husband help with? What doesn't need to be done right now? Write those things down. And I want you to write those down so that, of course, you can delegate them or you can release those things that you have been saying to yourself, oh, I've got to have that done. When I get home, I got to do this, this, and this. But when you write down and realize those things don't necessarily have to be done immediately when you get home, then that takes some of the stress and the pressure off of you so that you can be more present, so that you can have more peace, and so you can be more purposeful as a mom instead of trying to be perfect. So ask yourself, what have you been holding on to? What are you carrying that is not yours to carry? Because a lot of us are carrying burdens that God doesn't want us to carry, that He doesn't want us to hold on to. He's like, "Let them kids do that. Do that later." I don't know about y'all, sometimes I clean up and then I look at what I did, I'm like, because I might do only like 15 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh, but this still need and this." No, you did your 15 minutes or your 30 minutes. Go on to the next thing or take some time to rest and come back either later or come back another day and finish it. That's what time management is. That's what protecting your energy is. That's what prioritizing what your goals are in life with your daily actions. Because if you say, I want to be a more present mom, I want to be happier, I want to be more confident, I want to have more joy, but you're steady pushing yourself to the place of exhaustion, your actions are not aligning with what you say your priorities are. So ask yourself, what are those things? Write them down. Lastly, ask yourself what unrealistic expectations you are putting on yourself for this school year. And that actually can start with, because you're like, it's not unrealistic. So ask yourself, what expectations do you have? And write all those things down. And then you're going to start to realize if you look at what you've done in the past and what has stressed you out, is those things were unrealistic, or are those things that you feel like you failed at because you didn't do it all the time. Your kids didn't have, I don't know about you, but I try to feed my kids healthy lunches, healthy dinners for the most part. We have our different nights where it's like soul food Sunday or stuff like that. But I try to feed them healthy foods. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes mama's sick. Sometimes mama's busy, things like that. So for me to put this expectation on myself of they have to have these foods all the time. And if they don't, I'm a bad mom. That's unrealistic. Are you feeling like you have to be involved in all the activities? Are you feeling like, hey, I have to help with homework while I cook, while I do this, while I do that, and it's stressing you out? I'm laughing because I used to do it. I used to do it. I learned from my mama when she was here one time. And she was cooking dinner, and my son came out. He's like, Nana, she did this and da 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 da. And she said, okay, do you want me to focus on finishing this food, or do you want me to come and deal with that? And I don't know about you, but my kids love their nana cooking. So he was like, on dinner, and he ran off and they figured it out. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that is a clear example of setting boundaries and being clear that my mental health is more important than what you want right now or what you think is an immediate problem right now." So I do not help my kids with their homework while I'm cooking. I do not, because it will stress me out because my energy and my focus is being split. Now, if I'm cooking something and it's going to sit on the stove for 10 minutes or in the oven for 20 minutes, then I will come and help. But if I'm actively, putting them seasonings in and doing all the things and somebody comes up, Mama, not right now. I'm focused on this. And then I will come and help you. So that's something that I realized. I'm like, hey, this is more realistic. This is better for me. I'm able to be less stressed. You're able to be less stressed because y'all seen the videos online. If you haven't, it's not funny. It's not funny. But they're like black parents helping their kids with their homework. They ask a question and they're yelling. And I caught myself doing that, to be honest, because again, I was frustrated. I was overwhelmed because I was trying to do all the things. But we don't want to do that to our children, right? We don't want to pass that down. And if you found yourself doing it, that's a way to prevent it, to say, hey, this is when I'm going to help with homework. I'm going to give you the attention you deserve, and then I'm going to give whatever else the attention it deserves. So again, ask yourself, and like I said, you can start with, what expectations do I have of myself this season? And then when you write those things down, looking at them and saying, which of these things that I did that was constantly overwhelming, frustrating, that stressed me out, then those are likely unrealistic expectations. So those are the ones that you want to write down or you want to circle or you want to highlight so that you can figure out a different way to approach it and to make yourself a priority by setting boundaries, by saying, this is not what I'm going to do. This is not what I'm going to allow myself to do. And this is not what I'm going to allow others to do to me. And I just wanted to share that with y'all mamas because it's so important for us to make sure we're making self-care a priority. Even with the chaos of motherhood, with school starting back, it can be a lot. It can be a lot, especially if your kids are involved in multiple activities, especially if you have multiple children in school involved in multiple activities, especially if you're homeschooling children as well. It can be a lot. All of it can be a lot. And if you need help with making self-care a priority every day in your life, make sure you sign up for my Self-Care for Busy Moms class. I'm going to show you how to, remember I was talking about your priorities and your actions, making sure they align. I'm going to show you how to do that and make self-care a habit in your daily life. So every day, you will learn how to pour into yourself every day in ways that really fill your spirit. Because we're all different. We all have different needs. But this class helps you so that you can do that and you can be more happy, more full of joy, have more peace, not being not being that stressed out and overwhelmed mama that you may be right now. So make sure you check it out. I have that information in the show notes for you. And hopefully this episode blessed you. If it did, share it with the mama you love. Subscribe if you haven't, and leave a review as well. Until next time, take care. God bless. Thanks so much for joining me for the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I hope you feel inspired to make yourself a priority too. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Share this podcast with another mama you love and leave a review. Also, feel free to let me know what you would like to hear about in future episodes by visiting me on Instagram at CIC Inspire Me. Until next time, take some time to take care of YOU because you matter too.